All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. It's time to talk about the iPhone 17 after 24 hours. I've literally been using this phone for 24 hours, and now I'm actually recording with the phone because why? I can, and I want to show you the video quality. So this phone can do what my glorious, exciting, brand new iPhone Air can't do, which is cinematic video. You guys have been following me long enough, know that I love cinematic video. It is our portrait style video. This is the way I love to shoot. And I just think it brings a vlog to life, being able to focus on the subject itself. And with the 17 checking so many of my boxes, I can confirm, this is a confirmation video for a lot of people out there who are just so concerned about whether or not the iPhone 17 was a better purchase than the Air or the better purchase than the 17 Pro, I should say. Some people have just kind of written off this beautiful phone right here just because of the price and the things that they think it's lacking. But it's not about what a phone doesn't have at this point for me. It's about what it can do and is it going to perform the same as all the others. And the 17 does have a leg up on the iPhone Air because it has two cameras. It's able to do cinematic video, which is one of my top things I like about doing a vlog or recording, which is why you see me shoot this way all the time. Or when you see photos, you typically only see portrait photos. And right now, I think the 17 is lining itself up as the one, I should say. Now I'll continue to use my Air on my primary line, but I do have the 17 on my secondary line, and then also have the 10 Pro XL on my third line. So let's talk about the 17 after 24 hours. Well, here's what I've learned. I like to record vlogs. I like to record things for my car channel, and I like to record things on this channel, smartphoneconversations.com. That's a plug. That's why it's called Smartphone Conversations, because we discuss smartphones, but I actually use them to record the content, just like right now. This is the iPhone 17's cameras. What do you think? Now, I do have the DJI Mic Mini plugged up. However, audio isn't too bad, but there's a little bit of an echo in here at times, and the phone will pick it up. So the phone after 24 hours, let's talk about how I feel about feel in hand and hardware. So you guys know that 6 inches to 6.3 inches on a smartphone, to me, I've always said that's the perfect size. I mean, I just think that's not too big. It can go in any pocket with the case, without a case. To me, it's just the perfect size. Watch a good movie. It's not too obnoxious and it's just good. It's a great size for a smartphone. So feel in hand, absolutely great. The reason this phone feels a little bit better than some of the previous generation iPhones, and in particular, this phone replaced the phone number or the phone that's on this, the 16E, I'll just say it. The 16E feels a little bit more sharp on the edges and things like that. And it feels good in the hand, but the overall footprint in the hand is about the same, but the feel in the hand, it's not as sharp on the 17. So the 17 feels really good, even though it has a 0.2 bigger display. It's really nice. So feel in hand, absolutely great. Hardware is beautiful. This blue is beautiful in person. I think you'll probably enjoy the actual blue color of the phone opposed to the Air looking white, gray, and all these other colors. It's kind of crazy. But overall, the footprint, the feel in hand is just beautiful in here because this is a phone that I would prefer. I wish the Air was about this size. Now, when it comes to the display, Apple has done some great upgrades and made big strides there as well. It is definitely a beautiful display. Hands down, you should not feel any type of way about this display bars. So overall footprint, hardware, design. Now, the design could use an upgrade. Actually, I think, let me pop this Rinky off. It would be nice if they took the 17 generation or, took the next generation to this design. This is a very beautiful design, man. I think it's a really good looking design. And if they start moving towards that more, I'm not gonna say modern, just changing it up. They need a change. And this phone looks exactly like the 16. It's just bigger by a little bit. So yeah, overall though, I think you'll really enjoy how beautiful the screen is, the footprint, the design, everything. It's safe. I'll say it's a safe bet from Apple, and there's nothing wrong with that. Really, it's not. Now, as far as performance goes, you're going to get the same performance that you get on any other iPhone running iOS 26. I feel like the processor inside really doesn't matter when it comes to just daily tasks. Like, that's real talk. Like, just the things that we're doing on our phones, just regularly doing, which is just phone calls, text mails, emails, social media every now and then. You're not going to be able to tell the difference with this processor inside and the performance across the board. I've got my iPhone 13 Pro Max still flows right along. It's freaking crazy. Yeah, my 12 Pro Max flowing right along. I don't know. iOS as a whole is always pretty much been a pretty good operating system overall. All the little customizations that you can do now, that's neither here nor there. Just the overall experience is going to be the same across the board. And so that is why the iPhone 17 is probably so appealing to people, because let's talk about it, the $799 price tag. And then if you can get it on a discount somewhere, you're doing great. There's all kind of discounts out there that you can get. You can get even free through carriers, all kind of promos that are probably out there. But nonetheless, that is probably why people really love this phone, because it fits their budget, that $800 price tag. And people, I see a lot of people comparing it to the Pro model, and I know why, because you've got good hardware, you got good software, and then you got a much lower price tag. So it makes sense. The price is there. Now, battery life, it's only been 24 hours, but I can tell that this battery will last me all day. In 24 hours, I've only found one thing that this phone probably can't handle, and that is where this Pro processor really shines. This is where it shines. And this Air has the same processors as the Pro models. Now, I get it. A lot of people probably won't be editing on their phones, but I do sometimes. I know I have a MacBook Air and I have a Mac Mini and several MacBooks actually, but editing on those is great. But sometimes if I'm on the go, I just like to pop it into iMovie, stack some things up, push it out. I shot a 4K video on this 17, and eventually I didn't end up using it because my mic didn't pick up. However, when it came time to edit that video on the iPhone 17, which was my intent, I edited it. It worked, but I noticed once I started to add layers, it really struggled, and I know that it had to be just the processor. I don't even do a lot of B-roll or animations and all that stuff, but I stacked a few videos and pictures, and the phone really struggled to process that video. And then on this phone, just doesn't exist. That is where I believe the A19 Pro is actually going to shine. But I know a lot of consumers don't edit and do as many overlays as I was doing on their phones. I know they don't. So I'm not going to give it a bad mark for that. But I just know now that if I'm going to edit on this phone, I probably don't want to shoot 1080p. If I'm going to be doing a bunch of overlays, I'm going to shoot, I don't want to shoot 4K. I'm going to shoot in 1080p. That's what I'll do. But nonetheless, it survived. It worked. It just took a long time to get through the timeline. That's all. I had to keep opening and closing it. But other than that, folks, just know that the iPhone 17 is one of the best purchases on the market right now. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.